Chapter 12 is on community outreach. There are 10 business ethics best practices benchmark items for Chapter 12. When we think of business ethics, a lot of times we think of the role the organization has in the community. So this particular chapter is focused solely on that. But as you've seen from the rest of the textbook, when we say business ethics, it means a lot of things. And business ethics is a very, very broad concept and a very broad idea that includes how you treat your employees as well as your treatment of people in the community. So this chapter is focused solely on the community. Benchmark item number 74. A specific person or employee team is responsible for developing and monitoring our organization's community outreach activities. You would have heard this item and this benchmark in previous chapters as well. Ultimately, you do need to have one person who says, I am the one who is accountable in terms of our reputation in the community. Of course, you want all your employees to be concerned about the reputation the organization has in the community, but you want to have one person who is ultimately paying attention to that. And it goes both ways. Let's say an employee has kids in the high school, and it turns out that the high school drama club lost its funding for the year, so they can't do the plays. Then the employee would then go up to whoever that point person is in the organization and say, by any chance, can we give $1,000 to West High School Drama Club? And by having one person in charge, everybody knows who to go to. And that increases accountability. Benchmark item number 75. Upper management encourages input from and dialogue with stakeholder groups for issues that affect community members. So in this sense, your organization is becoming a partner with an organization and with the community. So in many cities and towns, you obviously have political units, including the mayor and the town council. And in this situation, what you're doing in your organization is you're asking the politicians in the community, you're asking the head of the Boys and the Girls Club, you're asking the head of the United Way, how can we most help this community? And from the benefit of the organization, it's somewhat ego. Remember egoism in chapter 5 with the ethical theories, where we are all egoistic, and it's okay to be egoistic. And the benefit for the organization of this is that you want to have your community to be a place that has a high quality of life. Because if it has a high quality of life, it attracts the best people to come there, the most talented people, because they want to live in communities that are high quality life places to be. Benchmark item number 76. Our organization donates money to community organizations. This is typically the most visible understanding of being a good corporate citizenship, is that you donate money. Businesses generate revenue, and you're taking a little bit of your revenue, setting it aside as philanthropy to help out organizations. Keep in mind, most nonprofits are there because the community has needs that businesses aren't meeting. A community might have people with mental health illnesses, and people with mental health illnesses, they need to be taken care of. And there may not be businesses that can make money off of helping people, serving the needs of mental health clients. So therefore, what we do is we create a nonprofit to care for the mental health clients, and then that nonprofit needs revenue. And then your organization can then help people by donating money to those sorts of organizations. And the United Way is a wonderful place to find out what the community needs are and what organizations in the community are best managed to benefit from your contributions. Benchmark item number 77. Our organization donates products or services to community organizations. So money is the most obvious thing organizations need in the community when you're doing philanthropy. But there's also products. So there's many organizations that might create shoes in a community. And then you take some excess of your product with shoes and you donate it to organizations. Say if you're a sneaker store You could donate money to the Boys and Girls Club because they need sneakers for the basketball games. So you're looking at your organization, you're looking at what is our product and our services, and how can others in the community benefit from our products and our services. Edgewood College is an educational institution. So when we look at what we have to offer the community, is we can do plenty of workshops. We have management faculty, so our management faculty can help out nonprofit organizations. I'm always on the board of some nonprofit every year, and I have specialties in doing strategic management. So I'll help the nonprofit for a year or two, help them get their strategic management plan in shape, help them implement it, and then help out another nonprofit. And it's a very rewarding and enriching experience to be able to do that. It helps the nonprofit, and then it also helps Edgewood College's reputation in the community because there's professors that are on boards of nonprofits that are helping the nonprofits improve their management skills. Benchmark item number 78. Our employees volunteer their time on company time with community organizations. The best practice in business ethics for this is usually through the United Way. The United Way in most communities has a day of caring. And on that day of caring, members of organizations and businesses donate their time. So not just the money and not just company resources, but the actual time of the employees to help out the Boys and Girls Club, to help out the mental health nonprofit organizations, to help out the arts organization. You name the nonprofit, on that day, the United Way makes arrangements to encourage people in companies to help out that day. Many employees help out on the side nonprofit organizations. Maybe they might help out a food pantry on the side. It's something else, though, when the organization, the business says, every year you can take 4 hours or 8 hours to help out a nonprofit, and we'll count that as your work week, as a work day for the year. And that really inspires and improves morale in the organization in terms of helping out nonprofits. And that helps the organization, the managers, to pay more particular attention to make sure that the activities that are done are very, very well managed. Item number 79 for benchmarking. Our organization uses community service as an opportunity for employees to develop project management, leadership, and team building skills. So this is the idea of using your outreach in the community for win-win purposes. Let's say in your organization you do a fantastic job in hiring, so you have 20 go-getters. But you might only have 2 or 3 openings in management, so obviously not all 20 go-getters can get promoted at the same time, but you want to maintain those go-getters in your organization. What you can do then is create a community service project and put the go-getter in charge of it. And so as an organization, you're giving the go-getter leadership experience that they may not be able to get in your own organization by helping out a nonprofit. So the nonprofit benefits because the go-getter is helping out, and typically the go-getter is going to invite their friends and their family members to also help out. And then that's going to give the go-getter real-life experiences that will make them better managers when they're working within your own organization. Also do this as a team building activity. With Edgewood College, once a month, we participate and help out the local free food service. It's called Luke House. And we do that as a team. So a team of 10 to 15 people from Edgewood College, which includes faculty, staff, and students, once a month serves one meal on a Sunday early evening at Luke House. And then this creates team building activities because we're networking with our coworkers and with students outside of the normal workplace. So we get to experience each other in a very different context, and that deepens our relationship with one another. So this could be done as a specific team. You can have all the marketing people can do it as a group, or if you're trying to do cross-functional activity, team buildings, A lot of times marketing people don't get or operate well with, say, accountants or finance people, because marketing people want to spend money. We need money for this, money for that. Accounting people are always, no, we don't have the money. Finance people are always, the CFO is trained to say no. No, we have no money for that. So you want to do team building. In this case, you can say the marketing people, the accounting staff, as well as the finance people are going to work together as a team and serve food at the homeless shelter together. And this creates new environments for give and take, and people get to know each other better. Benchmark item number 80. Our organization provides job opportunities for non-traditional employees, such as people with disabilities or ex-convicts. We live in a community, and in the community, some people are doing very well, and some people aren't doing very well. Let's take a situation of an ex-convict. A person commits a crime, they've made a mistake, they've served their time. This data and the statistics on criminals is there's a lot of repeat people going back to jail. And the analysis is quite obvious. You go to jail, you're hanging out with a bunch of criminals. You leave jail, you don't have a job because nobody's going to hire you because you're an ex-con. So then what do? You spend all day hanging out with ex-convicts. And what do ex-convicts that hang out with each other all day, they don't have jobs, do? They try to come up with ways to get money, which sometimes means stealing. So therefore they end up back in jail. So what you want to be able to do with your organization to improve the quality of life in your community is to create a system, an outreach, where you say, we're willing to employ 2 or 3 ex-convicts. Obviously, you're not going to want to make them your chief financial officer. You're going to find some basic job tasks that could be done, and you can work with your prison system. In Madison, at one point, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was working with the Dane County job system with several businesses in Madison, because the businesses were saying, we don't have enough people to do the basic skills, entry-level skills in our organization. And let's say the entry-level skills might be janitorial services, or it might be some basic computer skills, just data entry. So basically, we worked out an arrangement where the company went to the Dane County Jail. They conducted job training. They taught the criminals in jail how to do data entry with the promise that when they got out of jail, they would hire the person if they met certain benchmarks. And now what you've done by doing that is while the person's in jail, they have hope that they won't ever have to go back to jail. And the person is extremely grateful and loyal to the organization because the organization has given them a second chance that a lot of other organizations won't give them. So there are plenty of opportunities for that. Disabilities is another way. Mental disabilities as well as physical disabilities. Work is meaningful. And later on, we're going to talk a little bit about the purpose of life. And purpose of life is to have a meaningful experience. And for people that might have physical disabilities, if they're ignored because of those physical disabilities, you're saying you're not living a meaningful life. And so you want to do an outreach, and there are many nonprofits that will help the person with either a physical or a mental disability work for your organization. And they'll provide mentors to help the person work for you in order to have a win-win situation. And a lot of times, these organizations are operating off of government grants. So it's an outreach that helps a lot of people, and it creates a sense in the organization that we are good citizens and we're helping the community a great deal. Benchmark item number 81. Our organization has developed a strategic partnership with a community organization. So a lot of times you might give money to the United Way, which is fantastic. And the United Way typically does a great job of finding nonprofits that are well managed and have an economic shortfall, so you're directly helping them. But in this situation, we're saying, in addition to that, can your organization find one nonprofit, not 20, just one, that you form a one-on-one deep partnership with? And in this one-on-one situation, you want it to be a win-win situation. So going back to the example I mentioned, if you're a shoe store and you're looking to get involved in the community, It's great to help out at the homeless shelter, and I certainly don't want to discourage anybody from doing that. But look at the Boys and Girls Club. They have basketball camps. Wouldn't it be great that the shoe store and the Boys and Girls Club had a partnership where the shoe store donated their sneakers and shoes to the Boys and Girls Club? The kids benefit from that. And then the kids find out about the shoe store. And then the kids say, I want to work for your shoe store. So by finding an organization that you can partner with, then that organization becomes a stream for future employees to help your organization or future customers. Because by donating sneakers to the Boys and Girls Club, then when the kids buy their sneakers, they go to your store to buy the product. So it's just being very, very thoughtful in saying, here's my organization. These are our assets. Our employees are our assets, and our product is an asset. What organization, nonprofit in the community can benefit the most by the skills our employees have or by the products and services our organization offers? And then you want to create that loop so that that nonprofit organization feeds you in terms of potential customers and potential employees to make your organization really, really thrive. Last item, not the last item, second from last item, number 82 for a benchmark. Our managers participate in local business associations such as a Rotary or the Chamber of Commerce. The Rotary and the Chamber of Commerce are fantastic opportunities to form networks with other businesses. The Rotarians typically meet once a week. You eat a meal together, so you're networking over mealtime with other business people in the community. You're talking about what products and services you offer each other, and then typically there's a speaker. So then you learn something about the community, or I've spoken at many Rotaries, or so you learn about business ethics from the speaker, or if it's an election year, you learn from the local politicians that are running for election. So you learn a lot about the community by doing these types of activities. The Chamber of Commerce is always looking for organizations to help out. And by participating in this, you become part of the power elite in the community. And some people may not be crazy about that in terms of ethics. I'm going to become part of the power elite. But we're just being honest about the way that life is. Or communities are organized in such a way that there are power elites. And you want to make sure in terms of ethics that the people that are part of the power elites in any community are being very, very ethical. You don't want your unethical bullies to be in charge of the power elites. You want your ethical people to be in charge of the power elites. So if you're doing everything that I suggest in this textbook in your organization, you're the best person to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce and be in the Rotary and to be in all of these associations and to really improve the community. The last benchmark item, number 83, for chapter number 12, our organization measures and assesses its community impacts and shares the information with the community. So once again, if you're really clear that the reason why you're volunteering, donating money, donating products in the community is to improve your reputation in the community, then assess that. Organizations can easily send surveys to members in a community and say, please evaluate our reputation. And then you do that every year. And if you're doing a great job, your reputation in the community will continually increase. So you really want to assess how well you're being received. Sometimes you think you might be helping out the community and you're not, which is once again is why we always do surveys to get feedback to understand how people perceive us. So you want to reach out, understand the perception, and the nonprofits are very grateful when you ask them to evaluate how well you're doing, because the nonprofits oftentimes are under budgeted and understaffed. And by you reaching out to ask for their input, then they're reaching back to you to say, hey, you know what, we can use more of your help. And wouldn't it be great if we work on all this together? So those are the 10 benchmarks, best practices for business ethics in terms of becoming an excellent corporate citizen in a community.